Welcome. I'm Lynn of Lynn X Stitches Creates, and welcome to my Flosstube channel about counting cross stitch and the project bags I make. It is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. It is episode 93, and welcome. Welcome if you're new, if you've just found me, if we just met at a retreat recently. I hope you like what you see, enjoy the visit, and will come back and see me again. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming each week and enjoying my videos. It has been a busy weekend again. This past weekend, I left Friday for Denver and went to a stitching shop. And we had a retreat with Kathy Haberman and Bill, Mr. HOD of Hands-On Design, and did a whole finishing class, and what a whirlwind. It was a great time. We did a lot. So I'm going to kind of do things a little differently today. Usually I save my purchases for the end, but I'm going to do it now because of just the way the weekend went. So Friday, like I said, well, alright, let me back it up. So last Monday, I talked to you about the end of Frogwarts. That was a great challenge retreat. So much stitching. I took Monday off. I did not stitch Monday. But Tuesday I had to get back at it because I needed to finish my pieces for the retreat Saturday and Sunday, because I had one finished, one mostly finished, and another one sort of started. So, didn't quite finish everything. Did some stitching at the hotel too. But you will see the FFOs because that's what we were there for. So that was Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, busy stitching. Friday, got up, got on the airplane, was able to do a little bit of stitching on the airplane, not much. We were on a crowded flight, and I was on an aisle seat, and of course it was the wrong side. So my hand would have been going into the person next to me instead of into the aisle. So, you know, not a lot, but what can you do? Athena of Stitching Goddess Designs picked me up at the airport. And if you didn't know, she grew up in Denver. So she was giving me tours of everything. And we went right to a stitching shop because they were holding a reception, a meet and greet for Kathy of Hands-On Design. They had a whole trunk show set up right when you get in. I have a couple of videos, but I did my stupid thing that I do, and I don't know why I do this. I get out my phone, I put it on video, I hit the video, but it doesn't start, and then when I hit it a second time, then it's like going in my pocket or filming the floor or something stupid. So I have a few videos of the place. It is an amazing store. They have tons of patterns, but they have them in baskets. So if you know a designer, you can go to that section and look through the file folder, which is great. They have a few models on the wall, and then they have a few places where they've got things out. I actually found on a table of new releases something for Athena. It was a haunted house. It was huge house, but it was really cool. And, you know, she's on No New Starts, but I was looking at the pattern. I'm like, look, Athena, it's the person lives in Commerce City, Colorado, which is where she lived. So she's like, well, man, now I have to get that. So, but, what really was amazing to me, their selection of flosses. And they don't just cater to cross stitchers, they cater to all needle workers. So whether you embroider, whether you do needlepoint, they even had on one wall a trunk show of canvases for needlepoint. But so many, I mean, of course they had all the Anchor, all the DMC, all the Cosmo, but then there were ones I had never heard of before, and there were ribbons, and there was, I mean, if you know Rainbow Gallery, probably every single thing that Rainbow Gallery makes, they had at this store. I mean, more than I knew, and I've seen a couple of stores that have had a lot, and I mean, I don't always use that kind of thing, and it was amazing what they had. And I mean, just walls of boxes and like a whole center section, and it's just all flosses, and it was incredible. So that was really, it was really amazing. So I did get a couple of things. Oh, and if you like Mill Hill, they had like a whole maze of Mill Hill kits. So I almost got more, but I try not to. I get things when I see that I like, but I'm also trying to be, I know I'm not going to live forever. I will try, but it's not going to happen. But so, having said all that, so I got from Mill Hill, it's their Alley Cats line, and this one is called Cinder. And all in here is beading. So I figured that was a good start. There might be some beads on the cat too. I'm not 100% sure. But there were 3 different cats, and it really took me a minute to decide. But I finally picked this one. And then Heartstring Samplery just released a new one. It's called Stitched Together. Our hearts are stitched together. And this was just released this month, July of 2023. And I thought that was very pretty. It's 80 by 80, and it's finished in a 4-inch tart. And then one of my friends from Cincinnati we happened to run into at the store. I think I had known that she was signed up, but I'm not 100% sure. But she was looking, and she found this Jeanette Douglas, and it's called A Most Suitable Name series, and called Kind Karen. And that's by Jeanette Douglas, and I thought that was cute. And then something unusual they had. This is from Krynic. It's called Stitch-A-Pen, and it's the whole kit. So you're gonna stitch this piece. They give you the I think it's plastic canvas, like a perforated canvas, and then they give you the metallic ribbon and the pen, and when you're done stitching, you just slide it into the tube. And they had, I don't know how many kits of these. Like, there were flags, Canadian flag, American flag, different patterns like this, but these are my colors. So, and then they just were selling the empty pens. So if you already had a pattern you wanted to throw in, you could get a pen to put it into. So I thought that was really neat. So that was my haul. I was really good. You have to watch Athena's channel when she films. She bought a little more than I did, but we loved what we got. So that was Friday. We had dinner at an amazing family-run Mexican place near where she used to live, called El Casa del Rey, or Casa del Rey, and so good, really good food. We even ate there for breakfast on yesterday before I left. So then Saturday, we got up and the classes were held at a local country club. So there's my name tag, and this, and similar to the pattern that we were doing, and so I will show you. So first of all, you had seen this stitching last week. I finished it, and now it is finished in a tray. And we put this tray all together ourselves. Kathy provided all the fabric, and this is mat board, so there are 4 pieces, you know, for the sides, 1 square for the bottom, and then there was another square because we actually laced this piece and then popped it into, and I think mine fits so snugly. I don't want to, I could pop it back out. It is not glued down. But this is in the center, there's a magnet. And that's so that all the pieces will kind of magnet together and you can carry it without having to worry about spilling everything. Or if you've got your scissors, they'll stick right in. So you don't have to worry about dropping your scissors out of your tray as you're working. And then we had little cork feet so that it will not slide on a table. So yeah, so beautiful. Love it so much. So that's my first FFO. My second FFO is, I think I showed some of this last week. This is the perforated paper we were working on. So I had this square all done, and then this I think was mostly done. I had to finish this top part, and then I had not started the back. And I kept the back very simple. There were words wrought entirely by my hand, and I just decided not to do it because I was running out of time and I wanted to enjoy myself. So I did the design, I did my initials, and then I added 2023. So then at class, we did this first on Saturday, and we made this, and it was so enjoyable. And especially, you know, learning how to lace and doing it correctly is actually kind of fun. You just have to remember to keep your tension correct. But it's not hard. It's not as hard as I thought it was. So that we did, and then for the last hour of the day, we were sewing this square on. And you wouldn't think it would be hard, but if you look, it's a little bit of a bump because there's a magnet in there. So it was just giving me fits, trying to get it to stay so that everything was centered correctly, but I finally did it. So then on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, we came back and we started, we put the 2 pieces together, and then we blanket stitched around the whole outside edge to put our orange spice felt in. And then most people stitched through. I decided not to. I just attached it just into my orange spice. And then there's a string I can attach to tie it closed, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that either. I like it the way it is. So, which is my choice. So, yeah. So, I can't see. Couldn't see that day either. So, it was interesting doing this without my big magnifier. But yeah, so that's our second FFO. And then, where'd I put it? And for every piece we did, every piece we finished, Kathy had these beautiful packets with instructions. So this was from the first day. She gave us the picture of what everything was going to look like. So that was the first set of instructions for the tray. Then we got a second set of instructions. Oh, okay, that's after. For the needle book. And then our third set of instructions was for our hexie pin cushion. And mine is not stuffed yet. She gave us wool roving. This beautiful, beautiful, I was just showing my husband, so it's all taken apart. Beautiful wool roving that's going to go in there. And then we took our stitching, and there were two different hexies. So most people have a stitched hexie on the front and on the back. Because I ran out of time, I only had the one done, and I decided, you know what, I just preferred the fabric on the back, because I figure it's always going to sit. But we cut out all the hexies. So she gave us the paper piecing. We did it English paper piecing, if you're familiar with that, if you're a quilter. So we cut out the hexes and we sewed them down. If you remember doing yo-yos a few years ago, I'm really dating myself. We kind of did it, that's kind of how you did it. And then we ladder stitched everything together. So you took the hexies and first you sewed them around the outside edge of your stitching. So it kind of made like a flower. And then you brought it up and you sewed, each side. And then the final is when you're doing this. So you can see here's my opening where I turned it and I stuffed it. And you can see a little bit on the inside how it's folded down and just basted. But I've got my thread to close it, and I will stuff it. And there's another magnet, so there's it kind of puffed up. So it'll be a pin cushion. And there's another magnet to go in this, so it can either sit connected to your needle book or to your tray. They sort of all magnet together, but they don't really stay. But so that's my third piece. And then so Kathy also gave us, so when we're done, we've got a pin to put in our pin cushion. And then one of the ladies at the retreat, she was from Montana. She made, let me put it back on the felt. She made for everyone a stick pin. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So, and I never did catch her name. I know she was from Montana. So if you happen to watch me, thank you so much. I love it. And please comment so I know your name. But that's not all. So Kathy also, she said that she always, when she goes places, she was taught to always bring a gift. So not only did she teach us and give us all the directions, she gave us a new pattern. Isn't that adorable? It's called Indigo Road. It's a pin cushion. She gave us the pom-poms for the corners for finishing. And it's, it's blues. There's an alphabet. Cute little houses. I love it. Well, I love blue, so yeah. So that was another piece. And then, where'd it go? She also said, we needed scissors to put in our tray. So she gave us a pair of scissors. And then a stitching shop gave us a needle minder with a columbine on it. And there was another lady that was giving these out, just, you know, the little felt boards that she had made. It's got a spot where you can put your needle. I think she said she was from Texas, and I didn't get her name either. I tell you, these stitching, I was so concentrating on stuff, I missed a whole lot of stuff. I didn't really get around the room to introduce myself to anyone. You know, I was at the table and I was focused. It was not a relaxing retreat, let me tell you. But it was only from 10 to 4. So we had time to go out and enjoy ourselves in the evening and kind of relax and, you know, kind of get the shoulders going, because when you're and because I didn't have my big magnifier trying to see, and the lighting was not the best, so, you know, it was one of those. It was a beautiful room, but they had the curtains closed because when Kathy was talking, then people couldn't see her because there was such bright sunlight. So it was kind of a give and take. You know, you either had the curtains open and you could see a little better, or you had the curtains closed and you could see Kathy. So you kind of needed both. We had lunch there, which was very good. So yeah, and then Sunday night after class was all done, Athena and I went and had dinner with her friend, and we went to an amazing local Chinese restaurant that's probably some of the best Chinese food I've had in a long time. The egg drop soup was amazing. It was so tasty. So that was my retreat with hands-on design. I will definitely put some pictures in at the end and some of the stitching shop. Like I said, my video is not that great. I'm sorry. And be sure to check out Athena's, because Athena took some more of in-process pictures than I did. Let's see. I got, before I show you the tiny bit of stitching I did outside of that, I got my fabric of the month from Forbidden Fiber Co. It's called Americana, and this is a 32 count Belfast linen, because I've decided to get some 32 count in my life instead of just all 28. And look at this. Isn't this amazing? Look at that. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on there, but love it. Love it. So I have to be thinking what I'm going to put on there. Okay. And anyway, so I had brought two new starts with me. I brought a hands-on design pattern that I've been meaning to start that says Stitch Some Happy. And I'm not even sure it's worth showing you that I did. It was Saturday night. I was tired. I didn't get very far. So there we go. There's my start. I got 2 X's. I'm changing the colors. I can show you what I've got color-wise. Let's see. Yeah, so these are the colors that I've picked out to use. I went into my stash. I thought that was kind of a fun pattern to color change. So I've got silks from Almond M&M's, one from Hand Dyed by Rolanda, and let's see, this one's a Forbidden Fiber Co., and then this is Dying for Sass. So I think the words I'm gonna put in that. So that's my color palette. I may have to change one because I didn't write down the day I was color changing. I didn't write down on the pattern what I was changing things to, and I think when I started, I realized I may have picked a wrong color to go, so we'll see. And then on the plane yesterday, because I had some time, but then my bag was suddenly stuffed so much that I was like, I don't know that I want to pull it out, so I didn't start till the plane. And then when I started, I had just put in my first stitch, and the pilot comes on, and we're beginning our initial descent. I'm like, oh man. But you know, you still have like 25 minutes, but they want you to put your tray tables up. But I kept going for a little bit. So I also did a color change on this. It's called Sewing Bees. It's by Scissor Tail Designs. So it was, so it is, so it will be. And this is my color palette for this. I've got, and this is all different things from Stash. I've got some almond M&Ms. I've got some Dying for Sass. I've got a Cottage Garden thread in here. Forbidden Fiber Co. And then this one is a Mystical Diamond Art. This was in the Pirate box from Black Needle Society. So that's my colors for that one. And here is where I am. So this is a Bestitch Me. This is Bestitch Me Ledger. It's also a 32 count. And then the hands-on design is on a 28 count Mayflowers is what this one is. So you'll see more of these in the future. So that's all the extra stitching I've gotten done. Tomorrow we're gonna be celebrating on Zoom, or not Zoom, on Facebook chat. One of my friend's birthdays. We're gonna sit and chat. Her birthday is on Friday, but we're gonna chat early, and we're gonna be stitching. So she likes the beach, she likes travel, and she likes blue. So I'm probably gonna pull out my January Quaker and work on that, get some more stitches in on that. WIPGO numbers were called, if you didn't hear already, 18 and 24, which is perfect because that's Sky High Santa and Dorney Lane, and I need to get back to both of those. I have not stitched on them in a while, so that's great. And my January Quaker, I'm actually subbing in for one of my July WIPGOs because I had finished that number that was called and I hadn't decided what I was going to sub into there. So January Quaker is going to be my sub for that. So hopefully that will finish my July. Not 100% sure, but hopefully. And let's see. If you hadn't heard, Black Needle Society boxes for July are getting packed. It's Buzzworthy Stitching. They did have a couple of extra ones. I don't know if they've sold out of them or not, but you can check the vault. And if they're still there and you're interested in that box, use my code Lynn5, get 5% off. Pictures, the photo challenge for the Frogwarts box, because it went out so late, instead of having to have all your pictures up by July 31st, have them up by August 15th, I believe it is. And I will be here next Monday, and then I'll be going to Camp Black Needle in Missouri, so another in-person retreat. I've got sewing to do, finish for bags. I'm having a trunk show there. So yeah, so it's busy. So, alrighty. Take care. Have a great week. Stay cool. I know the temperatures are supposed to be jumping up here again in Ohio. And I will see you. Oh, And if you're in the Cincinnati area and you're looking for something to do, this Friday, the Murder Room opens at the Drama Workshop. My husband is in it. There's, I think, only 6 characters in the show, and it's a comedy. It's a murder mystery comedy farce. It's like Agatha Christie meets Monty Python or something like that. I don't know. I did not read the script. This is a new one for me, but it's supposed to be really, really funny. So it opens this weekend and runs for 3 weeks. So if you're interested, check that out. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday. Have a great week. Bye.